I'm gonna slate again. I'm gonna slate
again and slate again.
Bonk.
There's nothing more vulnerable than wearing shorts.
I think it's really brave. If anything.
Thank you.
I'm sort of in awe of what you do and what you bring to the table.
You're not looking down, which is what I noticed. It's just eyes.
No, well, I'm
eyes
scared
up.
about what I'll see.
Yeah. Oh no.
Missing.
Greg?
Missing.
I thought this was a duet.
Missing.
Oh, so you're just gonna sing all the parts? Those are not the right sounds. Can you hear me? Bonk. Welcome to Miss Thing.
I'm Greg.
And I'm Tim, and this is a podcast that celebrates and appreciates the missed things of the past, present, and future.
Yeah, in every episode, we take a key moment from our Miss Thing storied career and do what we do best, which is make it all about us.
And we're going to bring that to you every single week for the rest of your damn lives.
Yeah. We're actually getting ourselves cloned just so that,
we can take a break.
When we pass in 300 years or so, we'll have our clone sort of keep this going.
I plan on actually having my clone replace me immediately so that I can just rest, you know?
Of course, you do love to sleep.
If I could just sleep all the time, I would. Should I talk to a doctor? Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have the opposite problem. Sort of whenever I'm terrified to nap, I refuse to nap because as no one wants a nap more than me.
Yeah.
But either A, I can't fall asleep, usually because I can't put my phone down. B, I have this, it's like there's an alarm that goes off to the people in the world around me, where the moment I doze off, that's the second that the doorbell rings and there's a knock on the door. My dogs hear something and they go crazy. I cannot sleep in daylight.
I've never been able to nap in my life, really, because I just, once I can sleep through the night, but then during the day, it's just my brain is too turned on. So horny.
Oh,
God. So it's just like so many thoughts are racing that like even when I am so tired and it's like 4 o'clock and you just want to take like a quick power nap.
And just get real horny at 4 o'clock.
Really horny. But speaking of all this nap culture.
Okay, where are you going with this?
I have been spending this past week in Venice, California.
Wow, you've gone west with this.
I've gone west.
Sure.
Yes, the Wild West.
Okay.
Of Venice, California. I've been dog sitting / house sitting with Anthony, and it's his family friends that we're staying. It's an amazing house, and the vibe is so cozy, so like right off of the beach. It's such a nice. You never want to you want to explore Venice, but the house is so nice that you're like, I'm never leaving this. I'm never stepping outside for the rest of my life because this house is gorgeous.
Sure, even though it is steps from the beach, so you kind of think you'd want to go outside.
You would think that we would, but then you're just kind of like, wait, this house is one of the best houses I've ever been in.
Sure.
Why would I ever leave and set foot on that treacherous outside world, even though it's gorgeous beached,
Of course, yeah.
But it's so nice that it is one of those things where all you want to do is take a nap.
Love that. Can we describe that? What's the favorite aspect of the house? Besides the location, which doesn't matter since you won't go outside.
Well, what I love is that it's like so many floors. It's definitely like an up house, like where it's like 3-4 floors.
An up house.
An up house. Do you know what I mean? Like
an Architectural Digest describes it as an up house.
I should be an architect.
Yeah.
But it's
sort of a famous direction for a house to go. It's either up or it's out.
For me personally, it could be a down house, but I'm more of an optimist.
Sure.
And so I say.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think as opposed to it going like out wide,
it goes up.
It goes up.
Okay.
And I love that there's so many. It's just like fun. There's so many floors to explore. The roof, and there's so many.
So many floors. Is it
there's only 4.
a high rise?
There's 4, but like
That's a lot.
That's a lot. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's not like it's a wide house, you know, it's just whatever. But then there's tons of like little balconies and places to like sit outside on each of the floors.
Okay, I'm moving in.
So actually I'm
Venice
lying.
is too far.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I'm lying in the sense of that I have not stepped outside. I have stepped outside on each of those floors. That's the extent of which I have been doing, you know, just like go to the balcony and then come back in and then go to the next balcony, come back in, go to the roof.
Sort of outside, but not on solid ground. Okay.
Which is definitely title of memoir.
yeah, your autobiography for sure, not on solid ground.
But anyways, I just keep wanting to take naps at this place and then I find myself not being able to. And so I guess it's one of those things where it's a little bit of torture in that regard, where you're like in such a nappable house.
Sure.
And you're kind of like, well, so close yet so far.
Oh, exactly. Well, at least it's gorgeous, is what it sounds
gorgeous.
like.
Yeah. Why would you want to close your eyes?
Yeah.
But so this actually leads in perfectly into my Dad Mom Sauce.
Oh, your doll of the day, mother of the moment, sister of the second, our famous segment where we talk about what we're obsessed with currently this week.
And who I am obsessed with is the owner of this house.
Oh.
My Dad Mom Sauce is Linda from Venice.
Linda from Venice. That's her Christian name.
Yes.
Linda from Venice.
Let me tell you, like, it has been a real journey in these days that I've been there. In the sense of, like, at first I got there and I saw that she has Coke Zero. Now, I'm a Coke Zero girly.
Right. Diet won't do.
For me, I'm kind of like, I can tell that it's Diet Coke Zero. I can't tell that it's diet. And
famously something that they advertise to men.
Exactly.
Men
but not to Linda. It doesn't get Linda.
No, she rides the wave. She goes whichever direction she likes.
She's kind of like, you're not going to advertise to my gender. You know?
Yeah, she's like, gender neutral.
Yeah, gender neutral.
In regards to Coke.
And so at first I'm kind of like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And we're, there's a famous note that says you can take anything in the fridge.
Hey,
so
that's hospitality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited that I get all these Coke Zeros. Then there's even like Jack Daniels and Coke Zero, which I've like in a can.
Oh, prepackaged. That's very UK. I can't believe that's made its way stateside.
And so I was very much like, okay, Linda, I think we're gonna get along famously, even though you're in Hawaii. And so then as I'm going about all the floors, I start to see that in various places are just bowls of dark chocolate kisses. And I'm like, Linda, you bad boy. This is exactly what I would want at every turn, a little chocolate kiss. And if you think for a second, just so thoughtful.
I like the way Linda lives.
100%. And I think if she thinks for 1 second that when she returns at the end of this trip that there will be any chocolate kisses left, she's wrong.
Oh, I was sort of thinking if she thinks that you're going to be leaving when she comes back. I think she's got a squatter situation on her hands.
Well, the thing is, I'm single white femaling Linda. I'm going to become her.
Yeah, you do have a very Linda vibe. Not knowing Linda from Venice, you have a Linda
100.
essence.
I think if you were to say like Tim, what would his female name be?
Yeah.
Linda.
Yeah.
And then as I'm going about, I am a famous tea drinker. She has this beautiful electric kettle that I'm obsessed with and I'm going to steal. Sorry, Linda. Oh. And then on top of it, the thing that makes me the most Linda and why she is my Dad Mom Sauce is every single everywhere you look in the house, pictures of her. It's just
okay.
It's just one of those things where I'm definitely adopting that going forward. I want that no matter if you turn your head left, if you turn your head right, up or down, you will find a picture of me.
Sure, yeah. You do like a picture frame.
Yes.
You do like a frame. As we try and, fit in my frame.
Yes.
Every episode.
For once in my life, I would love the people who are watching this on YouTube to see that there are some framed photos in the background, but we always crop them out so you can't see them.
Mm-hmm. I think today we might get some frame and frame.
Oh my God, from your mouth to Linda's ears.
I do see you, though, in your next home with like a big black and white glamour shot, above the stairs.
Yes.
Above the fire.
And a huge oil painting. Wait, and then the last thing I'm going to say about Linda is on the fridge itself is like dead center is a photo of her in her prime in a 2-piece bathing suit. And she's a grandma at this point, getting up there in years.
Still in her prime.
She's still in her prime. But
Sounds like it.
It's one of those things where it's like, I just love the idea of every time she opens that fridge, she just looks at it and she's like, look at how fucking hot I was.
Yeah.
So anyways, the next time you see me, please refer to me as Linda.
From here on out, I'm calling you Tim Linda Zientek.
Perfect.
Tim Linda Zientek.
Do you, Greg Trimmer, have a dad mom sauce?
So famously, this weekend was West Hollywood Pride. And the lineup was great. The headliners were Janelle Monáe, Diplo, and the big one, Kylie Minogue. Kylie Minogue is my dad mom sauce. Obviously. Fresh off the Vegas tour, she came to LA Pride, sort of served it to the children hot on a platter.
I mean, if you were going to choose anyone else this week, I would have been mad at you. So I love that because I knew that you saw her.
Yes. And more specifically, what I admire about my dad mom sauce, Kylie Minogue, she does something which, first of all, born entertainer, incredible songs, incredible performer. But there is something about her that I think people don't quite realize, a very essential part of her performance, and it's her hair.
Oh.
She has incredibly buoyant, bouncy hair.
Really?
Which I think is what sets her apart from her contemporaries.
See, I sort of, no shade to Kylie, think of her hair as being kind of like flat and stiff.
That's what I maybe thought that too.
Yeah.
But I think an essential part of her performance is that she has sort of like a choppy bang, and her hair dangles. I don't think it's a wig, and it has a lot of movement. So there's this subtle hairography.
Yes.
That is adding to the body, and I think it sets her apart. I recently saw Madonna, incredible performer, who I would consider Kylie's contemporary in a lot of ways. But Madonna, love her so much, amazing dancer, wears a stiff wig. The hair is not moving. The hair is not moving.
Yeah.
With the body. And I realized that that's what's so key about Kylie. She's not Jennifer Lopez. With the hairography, she's not doing J-Lo, hairs flipping back and forth, but she's doing it her own way. She's doing it Kylie's way, and it just really enhanced the experience. That's what I noticed, her subtle hair, real hair.
And that is, I literally almost cut you off to say that, it is to have subtle hairography, that is how you know she's a superstar. Because if you're J-Lo or Beyonce or any of the big superstars that know how to work their hair with wind. It's with wind, it's and because there's nothing us gays love more than to flip that damn hair. I want them to be in a neck brace by the time the concert is over from how much hairography they're doing. Britney Spears, every time you see her doing something, it's literally my neck gets stiff. And the fact that Kylie is so confident that she knows I just need to do a little bit of a bob.
She's bouncing it. She's bouncing it to enhance what's happening with the feet and the arms.
Yes.
And why do you think I'm growing my hair? So I can suffering through this growth.
Who would, if you had to pick a pop girly whose hair would match your own?
Would match my own? I think it's Britney.
Oh, wow.
I think it's Britney.
That's a big statement.
Because Britney...
Wait, which era?
Any. See, Britney, the thing that the trait that I share with Britney is that I don't love to wash my hair. So I like to...
You said it.
Let it sort of build up the natural greases, the natural oils.
Yeah.
I would clip in, a messy...
definitely. You're wearing a clip-in right now.
Yeah, I could see myself putting in a very sort of not like a DIY hair clip, hair extension.
Yes.
Which feels really fun. When I do drag, I like a really messy,
Yes.
Like Britney-esque hair.
Oh, 100%.
How about you?
I would like to think in my utter fantasy, obviously you want to go for like a Beyonce, you know?
Sure.
But in reality, I feel like mine would be like Katy Perry Witness era, you know, like
the short
blonde,
sort of what you have now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think like I would like to think, but in actuality, it's kind of like the haircut that maybe dismantled my career.
Yeah, no movement at all.
Definitely the like Felicity of the pop girlies, is she like cut that, and then everyone was like, "Do we like Katy Perry anymore?" Okay, should we take a break and then get into Miss Thing?
Oh, just you wait.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Okay. So this week's Miss Thing has probably been, we have been leaving little treats for the audience, honestly, since the very beginning.
Since day one. She's a day one hun.
Day one hun, and we just simply could not wait anymore for this one.
We had to take to the mic and talk about our girlie who has sort of been just like the main topic of conversation for weeks now, and of course,
and it's because she is that girl,
and she is, quite frankly, the moment.
100%. She is Miss Thing, and that Miss Thing is
Jennifer Lopez, otherwise known as, more famously known as J-Lo.
Jenny from the block.
Jenny from the block.
Jenny Lola. I've heard one person call her that before, and I'm
What is Lola?
Yeah, Miss Lola. And she's also
I'm lost already.
Oh,
DeLola? DeLola?
I don't know. I just know that I've heard one person call her Lola, and I think it's like J-Lo, and then
Lola. Okay, all right. Well, I'm learning new things about J-Lo.
Because she's sort of like, you just endlessly want to learn more about Miss Lola.
Yeah, Miss Lola on the 6. We've got the music. We've got the movies. We've got the video of her going back to the Bronx, where she's from, visiting the house she grew up in, and the person not knowing who she is.
I mean...
Iconic. We've got American Idol for a few seasons.
We've got Selena.
Selena.
Yeah. We've got Anaconda, Out of Sight, Made in Manhattan, The Wedding Planner. I mean, Monster-in-Law.
Yep, all these amazing romantic comedies, not a one of which I've seen.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm more an Anaconda girl.
Okay.
Enough. Yeah.
Enough.
There you go.
I mean, they're maybe to me one of the most memorable lines in cinema.
Wait, not for enough. Also, sew your hair.
What is that?
Where she sort of chops it off. That's your hair. That's your stage hair.
Literally the nicest thing you ever said to me.
Yeah, okay, but back to I just sort of I was really
Juliette Lewis, another Miss Thing.
Completely
we have to do her.
That.
She says to J-Lo at one point, she was like, "You have a divine animal right to protect yourself and the life of your offspring." And then that, I believe in my memory, serves as the like training montage for her to get like fucking ripped and go after that. I think his name is Billy. I think that's the actor's name.
Okay.
It is.
I don't remember
listeners,
what he looks like.
As soon as you finish listening to this episode,
go watch
it. A
Enough.
Moment sooner, yes.
Go watch Enough. You could even pause it for a second.
Pause it and come back.
Go watch
and we'll
Enough.
probably still be talking about Enough.
Oh, yeah. No, we're going to talk about Enough. Boy Next Door, where she famously got a first edition of the Iliad.
Oh, yes. I mean, Marry Me.
Marry Me.
Countless. Shotgun Wedding.
We're still going. And then there's the music, of course.
I mean, there is the first album on the 6th. And then the next one, I think is that Jenny from the Block?
I don't remember.
Or J-Lo. I think it's literally just called J-Lo. And I just want to take a little moment to talk about the song Play.
Play.
Have you ever
I
heard
love
it?
Play.
Okay.
Play, my favorite song. Play it all night long.
Yeah. DJ Play.
You just play that song because I want to be dancing.
Because it turns me on.
Oh, okay. I was going to say something else. So good thing you caught me. Also, I do have to just say one more thing that I love about J-Lo so much.
Say more than one.
Oh, well, there's a lot of things I admire about J-Lo, but mostly I love that she constantly finds herself. Maybe she's only done it once, but I think of her as someone who loves to dance with a top hat and a cane.
I mean, the caneography.
The caneography. Combined with the hairography and the hatography.
And the discography.
The discography. So I just need to...
And the filmography.
And the filmography. Mm-hmm.
I mean, she is a woman of ographies.
Oh my gosh. The bibliography. Yeah. The references.
Sorry, I think I cut you off.
No, you didn't cut me off. Oh, and just one more thing that I love about J-Lo is I did a quick peruse of the IMDb page because I like to come to this pod, say it with me, prepared.
Okay, news to me.
Yeah, I just did a little bit of research for this. Yeah. And she has over 100 credits as an actress. So not only are all the films on there, she also puts all her music videos on there. So woman. She's acted in all her music videos and behind the scenes featurettes.
I do think that actually is like, I think that like if you do Rihanna or something.
Oh, it's a common thing?
It's like a common thing that they do, maybe to like credit the directors of the music videos or something. Because I remember I was looking at I think I was looking at Rihanna, maybe when we did the Rihanna episode.
Yeah.
To see, like, I knew she did Battleship. And then I was like, did Rihanna do any other movies?
Famously.
And it was just like all the music videos. So, anyways.
We'll need to go back and do another episode about Battleship. Please, you were on Play.
I was on Play. No, what I was going to say, which leads into, obviously we've been talking about J-Lo far too long.
No, this is too much.
Yes.
We need to talk about ourselves.
Which is the one movie that we have not referenced of J-Lo yet, and which I'm going to talk about.
I'm about to say, I'm going to wait until you say it. I'm going to wait until you say it.
3, 2, 1.
The Cell. Oh, okay. We're on different pages.
We are on different pages. Couldn't have been farther apart.
Sure, okay. Hustler, of course.
And so I've already brought up Hustlers before.
Mm-hmm. You bring it up a lot.
I fucking love that movie. And I think that she was...
Snubbed.
She was snubbed. She was robbed, cheated. At that scene at the... I'm not going to... If you guys haven't watched the movie, you need to, because there's a scene at the end...
You could probably talk openly about Hustlers at this point.
No, I feel so strongly. I don't want to... Any spoilers for that movie. But there's a scene at the end where she is in an interrogation room, and she tears up, and I'm just going to say she should have... Laura Dern, I love you, and I know this is sacrilegious to say on the pod, but J-Lo should have won that Best Supporting Actress, and she wasn't even nominated that year, and Laura Dern won for Marriage Story, and I'm sorry, but it should have been J-Lo. I'm coming for blood today on the pod.
I'm not going to respond to that.
Anyways, but so I have two things. One is I've actually met J-Lo before. Which is
what?
I've met J-Lo before, and you were actually
in the building.
You were in the building.
I was in the building.
So years ago, when we were both working at CBS, the pharmacy. No, CBS, the network for all of you girlies out there. And one of my jobs was to like go get the people in the lobby and then take them to the pitch room where and J-Lo was famously pitching the NBC. Eventually ended up at NBC.
Shades of
Blue. But since we were working at CBS, she was also pitching to CBS.
Yeah.
And so
that was the most important aspect of our job, going to the lobby and getting
ushering someone to a pitch thing and then having to come up with some sort of small talk for like an awkward amount of like 18 seconds.
You had to figure out, what am I going to say to J-Lo?
Well,
famously, I snubbed Nev Campbell, future Miss Thing, always Miss Thing. Remember, I snubbed Nev Campbell because I said, hey, to the receptionist, and the person on the couch turned around and said, hi. It was Nev Campbell, and I froze, and I ignored her, and I walked right past her, and there's no one that I love more.
That I do know that you love the Scream franchise.
Not to bogart your entire story,
no.
Sometimes we run into these situations.
I was going to say, you're actually in a way being a little bit psychic because of similar. I didn't
Miss
actually.
Cleo pods.
I will. It's not exactly similar, but there's similar themes.
Okay.
Which is I one of the higher up assistants at the time knew that it was going to be J-Lo, and even though it was my job usually to go like grab the people and bring them back to the room,
they were going to take that.
They were going to take that one, and they were higher up, so I was like, that's fine. And so then I actually even forgot that J-Lo was coming in that day because it wasn't on my calendar to do it, and I was bored. I had a little bit of a break, and there was a bowl of Starburst waiting for me in the receptionist lobby because that's where they kept the candy there, and so I was like, you know what, I'm going to go grab some Starbursts as a little pick-me-up.
Yeah.
As one does.
Yeah, and if J-Lo happens to be in the lobby at that
No, but I know it
time.
sounds like, but I literally forgot that she was coming at that time.
Sure.
Because, like, that was, anyways. So I go into the lobby, I'm talking to the receptionist, and at that point, like, the elevator door opens, someone comes in. I don't look because I am riveted with the conversation with the receptionist. And as I'm talking to her, I just reach my hand into the Starburst bowl. I'm not even looking. And at the same exact moment, someone else's hand reaches into the Starburst
Into the bowl.
I am not kidding you. It was Jennifer Lopez. So our hands touch. The epitome of a meet cute. I look up at her, and then I get frozen because I'm like, holy fuck, that is Jennifer Lopez, less than 12 feet from me. She looks up, she goes, oh, you can have it. And I froze, didn't say anything, obviously, because then she could see that I was, like, recognize it. I was like, huh? I, like, tried to say no.
Was she being, like, cute about it? Or
she was being, yeah, she was very, like, she was just like, oh, you can have it, and then, like, reached for another one, basically. And I literally was so awkward and weird because I just tried to say, no, you can, but instead just, like, was like, and then, like, continued to take it. I can't believe that I, like, continued to take it and didn't just, like, unwrap it and hand it to her on my knees.
But that's the thing. But that probably made her respect you so much more because celebs, they are just like us.
Yes.
And they need to, like, feel safe in their environment.
Yeah.
Not like I'm some celebrity whisperer.
Please,
Remember, I one time told RuPaul that I just washed my shoes when he complimented them. So
how could I ever forget?
Ever forget that.
Well, and the thing I want to say, by the way, this isn't even the story I was going to tell, but
I love that part of the story.
Is this, I will say then, I you know, because we've taken, you know, some celebs back in our day.
Sure.
And usually, I'm not going to name names. I'm, like, disappointed with how they look in real life. Because I think that the vibe was very much like if they were producing or they were going to start a TV show, they wanted to downplay their looks because they're a producer. And they're producing this TV show. So they're, like, looking business, no makeup on.
Yeah, they're so businesswoman special.
And so then when they show up with no makeup on, it's a little bit like Scary Movie.
It's so Scary Movie, and they still got the bobblehead.
Yeah.
That celebrity bobblehead.
And so you're a little like, but then you're trying not to react to it. And so J-Lo also was doing that where she was like, looked to be wearing no makeup, but I'm sure she was wearing some sort of thing, but like it looked bare nothing. I cannot believe that this close, I'm so close to your face, and you literally look younger than me at 23. That was after a string of some celebs who were not wearing makeup, and I was like, ooh, it doesn't hold up. And I was like, you're barely wearing makeup, and you look so fucking good.
Oh, you know, she's drank the death becomes her potion. I mean,
sign me up.
Sign me up. No, she looks insanely good.
Well, I just think, like, also, I think in your head you imagine, because I do think wears, like, a good amount of makeup in interviews and stuff. The Hummingbird. Sorry. You saw my eyes. You were literally like a dog. Like, your eyes and face were darting around jolting. And I was like, if it's not the Hummingbird, I'm scared.
But it's not the Hummingbird.
It's another one? Wow.
Maybe her baby?
I hope.
It's small.
Okay, super cute.
I am so sorry to distract us. Please keep going.
That's actually like very important for us.
It's urgent, yeah.
Baby Hummingbird.
An incredible omen for us and J-Lo's career.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, anyways, it's just to see her that close and see that it actually is just beautiful.
Holds up.
It was something we're like, okay, we can age gracefully. If you're J-Lo.
If you're a multi-millionaire.
Okay, well.
You looked up her net worth once on South China. Chose
400 million.
SouthChinaPost.com.
The most reputable site that you could find on the internet. Everyone go to that website that Greg is saying, and I can't remember the name.
South China National Post.com.
.edu. Okay, well, I've already been talking for too long, but yet I'm still going to go into. Okay, so her being robbed for Hustlers, cheated even, makes me think of a time that I was robbed/cheated.
Boy.
And so you might even know this story. I'm not sure, but one time.
As long as it doesn't involve me, I was terrified that you were about to throw me right under a bus.
Well, now I'm questioning. I'm like, what has Greg robbed?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to turn it back.
Okay.
You don't need to turn the tables. Adele, future Miss Thing.
Oh, wow. That
Also,
one,
Dod Mom Sauce, because she yelled at someone at our show for saying Pride sucks.
Oh, right. And she
Dod
sang
Mom
at that
song.
little boy who lost his damn mind, which is very us. Did you see that video?
We're the little boy, obviously.
We are all that little boy.
We are all that little boy. Hustlers.
Okay, so I was cheated and robbed. Makes me think of when I was in my mid-20s years ago, a couple of years ago. I was working at this music school.
So.
I was working at this music school, and it was downtown Santa Monica, like one of the main streets. So it's like a busy place, and it was the end of the night. I was closing up. I was actually on my way to a first date at the time. So
Okay.
I was like, I gotta go.
Sure.
And so as I'm locking it, some man like taps on my shoulder. I of course gasp, and I'm like, and then he goes, I'm not gonna do the accent, or I'll try to. He's like, I'm so sorry. It was supposed to be Irish, but I think that was British.
That was Irish.
Can you say I'm so sorry in an Irish accent?
Oh, Mom, say sorry. Like that?
Why yours is like the person just got stabbed as they're saying it.
I went Cockney with it.
Yeah. Well,
that's okay. That's British too.
Yeah, listeners, picture Greg's voice as this man is talking, but yeah, he's on his last breath, and he looks like. Do you know what Joss Whedon looks like?
No. Oh yes. Red.
Like
could play
a
Wendy.
little bit bald, but like a beard, middle aged. Also, if you don't know what Joss Whedon looks like, picture like a
Louis C.K.
a professor at it's Louis C.K. Mm-hmm. Yes. So
Louis
it's
C.K. meets Paul Giamatti, famous star of The Welkin and Mirth.
Yes.
On
Very
Broadway.
thank you. Irish Paul Giamatti playing what he plays in The Holdovers, like a professor. So
yes.
that's what so he looks like he's dressed in a nice thing outfit. And he's talking and he's saying, like, I'm so sorry. I actually, I'm staying above the music school right now. But I, like an idiot, just walked out. I'm staying at my friend's place. I'm visiting from Ireland, hence the Irish accent.
Of course.
And he's like, I left my phone, keys, and wallet. I have no way of contacting my friend whose house I'm staying at, apartment I'm staying at. So he's like, I know this sounds like really like, shady, but is there any way that you could give me $5 so that I could take the bus to my friend's place of work? It's 9 p.m. too. So
$5 for the bus.
Yeah, it was
That's
like
your first. Yeah,
it was a one-way I don't know, but so
sure.
It felt reasonable.
But
I was still like, it's dark out. I'm turning out the lights of this place. You just kind of creeped up on me, but you don't seem. You're well dressed. You're Irish. I'm like. All these signals are going up where I'm like, I can trust you or I can't. I'm not sure.
Right.
And then he goes, sorry, I'm just like visiting town because I was in Ireland shooting this movie with Chloe Sevigny.
Oh, boy.
This indie movie with Chloe Sevigny.
Just uncanny.
And listeners, like, if I was definitely targeted, and if you want to target me and scam me, tell me that you are just coming back to town after filming an indie movie with 90s muse of the independent cinema, Chloe Sevigny. Yeah. I mean, he's so specific. And so I was
he had your number.
I mean, and I was very much like, he can't be lying at that point. Like, Chloe Sevigny?
So specific. He had you clocked.
I mean, he literally was like, this is a gay man. If I bring up Chloe Sevigny, he'll believe me.
He'd been watching you all day, and but you also had been watching Chloe Sevigny videos on your iPhone all afternoon.
I actually have a tattoo on my shoulder of Chloe. And so I was like, you know what? I don't have any money on me, and I know people are going to be like, I cannot believe you did this. So I was like, but there's an ATM 2 blocks down.
No.
So I was like, we can go to the ATM. So I walk with this man 2 blocks
No.
to the ATM.
Sure.
I took out $20. And he asked for 5, and I give him 20 because this is what I was thinking was like, it feels my thought process was, if this guy is scamming me, whatever, I can stand to lose $20. If on the off chance that he is telling the truth, I want to be the person who like would help. Like if I was in that situation, I would want someone to do it to me. You know?
Of course.
And I'm nothing if not a good Samaritan.
Yeah, and you also were hoping that you'd get his information because
Networking.
This guy is a celebrity. He's been working with Chloe 78. He's very important.
I will network with anyone, okay? And honestly, there are a lot of scam artists in Los Angeles who I've networked that were worse than this man.
Yeah, he's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
He's one of the
and
good
so
ones.
then after I gave him I literally, Greg, say to him, you said it's just like a couple blocks over. Do you want me to give you a ride? Yes, I offered to give this man a ride, and he thankfully said no.
He's so the guy in Scary Movie when she goes, here's a homeless person, here's their sandwich, sir. He said, I said $1, bitch.
100%.
He's that.
Yeah,
to you.
I could not. I was like, okay, like, and I was really like hurt by it. Where I was like, oh, okay. Meanwhile,
Yeah, and you're also like, would you like my headshot instead?
100%. Also, could you take a photo and send it to Chloe? Tim is your biggest fan.
Give her my number.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I go to the date. The date's terrible.
Okay.
And then a couple weeks later, forget about this whole incident. I'm then in West Hollywood, which is a good 25, 30 minutes from Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Nowhere, like, close. Like, this man cannot walk to this. I'm at Whole Foods, checking out, on my phone. There's someone in front of me. I'm just on my phone, not noticing. And then I start to hear this Irish voice. And I'm like, this sounds familiar. But it's also at this point been like 3.5 weeks or something. And then I start to hear, I kid you not, this guy go, I'm so sorry. I live right around the corner. I just got locked out of my place. I left my phone, keys, and wallet. I was just directing Chloe Sevigny in an independent feature in Ireland. And this cashier, and he goes, is there any way, he just got like a hot bar, like salad and at Whole Foods. And I was like, is there any way, this is only like $12, like could I buy this and then I swear I'll come back and I'm good for it. And the woman was like, absolutely not, sir. I go up to the cashier and I'm like, wow, I cannot believe that man pulled that. I was literally like, but you know what? I'll pay for his thing. No, I was literally like, told her my story, and she basically was like, you're an idiot. I can't believe you fell for that.
Oh my God. I would love to know where he is now.
He's probably running Hollywood.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's what's the guy who runs HBO Max?
David something?
Zaslav.
Yeah,
Zaslav.
yeah.
That man is David Zaslav.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, wow.
Okay, Greg, I've been talking far too long about how J-Lo is actually all about me.
Yeah, I was
now
thinking the same.
Yeah, now it's time.
It's time to make it about me.
Exactly.
Make it about me.
So please.
And, there are so many ways that I can make J-Lo about me. But the thing that's sort of front and center in my world right now is her new alcohol brand, De Lola.
Which means of Lola, so
Right.
obviously.
As
Lola,
I was sort of saying to you before, I don't know what you're talking about, and yet I couldn't.
So clearly someone calls her Lola.
But yeah, someone calls
Other
her,
than me, my personal nickname
yeah,
for her.
De Lola, but I like to call it De Lulu.
Yes.
Because that's very J-Lo
And
to
very
me.
you, yes.
Yeah, and of course, that's
Yeah.
where we really come
Crossover,
together.
yeah.
Sure. So, but J-Lo famously doesn't drink, and yet earlier this year she released an alcoholic beverage called De Lola, De Lulu.
Yes.
But this reminds me of a time that my sister Anne was coming to visit me. Shout out Anne.
We love Anne, and this episode goes out to you.
We love Anne. We love all this Anne in particular, and all the other famous Annes in this world, including Anne Hathaway.
I was going to say, I was trying to think of anyone other than Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway, another Jersey girl, my neighbor.
And also Diane Keaton. But I call her Anne.
Okay.
She doesn't like it, but I do it.
Yeah, something's got to give. Yeah. So Anne was flying into town. I think it was her first time visiting me, and it was a particularly busy time of my life. I was on a show that had been going like till midnight every night. It was really crazy. And while she was flying in, I had some spare time. I thought, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to have a beer. I'm going to treat myself to a beer. And just sort of take a load off as someone is wont to do, you know, when they're looking to relax. So I had just had a party a few weeks prior, and there was all this beer left over in the fridge that was just sort of sitting there taking up space.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I'm also going to start cleaning out the fridge. I sit down on the couch. I'm watching a show, can't remember what it was, drinking the beer, really starting to feel it. So I think, oh God, well, maybe I can't pick up Anne from the airport. She lands
one beer.
From one beer. I'm like, wow, I hadn't been drinking. I was super tired. I'm like, whoa, you know, like really, really feeling that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what, Anne, why don't you Uber here? I'm going to hang out. You know, I don't want to get on the road in this state that I find myself in. I'll order dinner. It'll be here when you're back. So I crack open another beer because I'm not driving.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm looking at Uber Eats or Postmates, whoever sponsoring us this week.
Meanwhile, Anne is at the airport being like, I just fucking landed. I have to Uber.
And now I've got to get on the LAX bus. And then get to the Uber.
And I'm going to show up in my brother's blackout drunk.
Blackout wasted.
Yeah.
But I'm really like okay.
You're in your own world.
I'm loosening up. I'm having fun. I'm thinking, I'm drunk. I'm going to order everything because I need to just I'm famished. I'm insatiable at this point. I'm going to order whatever I want, have a bite of everything. Balls to the wall.
Yeah.
So Anne arrives. Food's there. I got a ton.
Okay.
I got
do you remember what it was?
A ton of food. It was Chinese food.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm slurring my words. I'm like bumping into things. I'm really a good time
trying to actually book her flight back at this point.
So we sit down to dinner. I say, can I get you a beer? I pull 2 beers out. You know, I'm going to have my third. I crack open the beers. I hand one to Anne. And she looks at it. She goes, you know, this is 0.0, right? Imagine my surprise when I realize I've been drinking non-alcoholic beer all night, and there is no way to explain
empty calories.
Talk about empty calories and placebo effect.
Yeah. Was Anne livid? Was she like, so I fucking took the LAX bus all the way to Atwater?
Yeah, you've never seen someone sober up so fast as I did at that time.
All of a sudden the slur disappears.
Yeah. Complete. No, I was like, oh, come to think of it, no, maybe I don't really feel it. What kind of maniac?
That's literally insane.
Yeah, what kind of maniac, A, gets too drunk to pick up his sister from the airport on non-alcoholic beer, but also, what kind of sick fuck brings 0.0 to a party?
Wow. I mean, this episode really does need to go out to Anne for what she suffered.
To see me in that state.
I mean, I feel like this is, if anything, we should turn this story into a Delulu commercial.
Yeah, sort of an episode of our new show, Delulu.
Wait, we can cut this. Have you ever seen, there's like a video of her, I think on like TikTok or Instagram, where she's like
pouring in,
and then you think it's someone else. She's like, no. And then like it zooms out and you realize that's her hand pouring it.
Yeah.
I was so amazed at how well the hand-eye coordination acting that like she wasn't doing. And I was like, I could never in my damn life. Anyways.
Well, please remember the work that she does with canes on stage. The woman knows her way around.
I mean, the porography that.
Unbelievable work. Unbelievable product, Delulu. Please
Delulu,
sponsor us.
We salute you.
J-Lulu.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we take a break?
Let's do it.
Okay, it's time for Diva Down. And Diva Down, of course, is our segment where we take something in the culture right now that needs our unsolicited advice. They're down, they're maybe not out, but
Yes.
they need our help.
They need 2 gay men to tell them how to live their lives.
What to do,
Yeah.
whether they like it or not. And that diva that's down this week is none other than
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez.
This is her down.
Yeah, this is her down.
And
this episode is a J-Lollapalooza.
Okay, J-Lo.
What's your advice?
Okay, this is my advice. So J-Lo is currently yet again in the culture because she had to cancel her tour, which we already covered.
We covered the cancellations of a few dates and the low ticket sales, and now here we are. Tour is canceled.
She is spending time with loved ones. The rumors are, and we don't know enough of the story, but it's maybe because of
the thing that we called.
Yes, because of Ben, that they're getting a divorce, maybe. It could also be that the sales were so low that she's canceling it for that. We don't know.
There's a number of reasons. I think there's a number of factors here at play.
And so this is what my advice is for J-Lo, which is I was thinking about it. I was like, what does she need to do in this moment?
Yeah.
And I think, as you guys... because obviously, I'm like, she should have won an Oscar for Hustlers. I cannot say it enough. Yeah. I am going to say hello, Selena. Like, she is capable of so much.
Greatness.
And I'm like, take all this turmoil, turn it into the best damn performance you've ever given. Give us gritty. I want her to... no makeup, even though, unfortunately, even without makeup, she's going to look stunning. But usually, like, if an actress takes off all their makeup, they win an Oscar, for how bad they look.
They're going to have to do some monster Charlie's work on her
prosthetic
face, probably, yeah.
Like, she just is in that astronaut movie right now. I'm like, there's probably a biopic of, like, the first Latina woman in space. Do a real-life, like... story biopic, you know?
Yes.
Where it's like where it is like tough, where she has to like train for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the other thing I was thinking of is like her playing, I'm just making up this movie. It's like she's playing like some sort of Latina Olympian who's older and like doesn't think she's gonna make it to the Olympics, and then she has to like train, and then she like gets she's going for the gold, but she ends up getting the silver, but that's still the win in and of itself because she's like in her 50s or something.
Okay.
You know,
like a naiad of sorts.
Give J-Lo her naiad.
Give J-Lo her naiad.
Yeah. What is your advice?
So we're told she's taking time off to spend time with her family and close friends. I think J-Lo is going to need to have to expand her circle beyond her close friends and work on the people that she's not so close with and hasn't been with
maybe
for a while.
For say someone she shared a Starburst with at one time.
Someone she shared
not
a
close friend,
with.
but someone who could be.
But I think she needs to get back in with her music people who she's sort of neglected. For example, introduce yourself to Mariah Carey and see if you two can get to know each other in a way.
Wait, you know that they have a famous feud?
Of course, of course.
Okay.
J-Lo is famously the person that Mariah doesn't know.
Yes.
But I think maybe they should try and get to know each other. This is an opportunity.
A duet.
This is an opportunity to do something really incredible for... Well, J-Lo,
culture.
I don't know if... Yeah, for culture. Yeah. I don't know if Mariah is open to it. But I think J-Lo should spend this time working on that. I think J-Lo needs to get back in good graces with Ashanti. Who
have not heard that name.
Famously wrote, and some say just sang, a lot of her songs.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Famously, I'm Real. Ashanti's vocals are the ones on I'm Real. Is the rumor. Allegedly.
Wow.
But we need her and Ashanti to sort of... We need J-Lo to, like, rekindle old friendships.
Reconnect with those late 90s, early 2000 music producers.
Yep. And you two, one day, will dance again.
You will
dance
again.
And dance. Again. Ballad version.
I mean, and if she does that, she will get us where? On the damn floor.
Oh.
On the floor.
We'll get on the floor for her. Anyways. Well, J-Lo, we love you.
We love you.
We hope for the best. We hope for nothing but the best, as we always do for everyone on this show. But J-Lo, yeah, you've got your work cut out for you.
But also, the thing I want to say too is J-Lo is indestructible.
Indestructible. She will overcome.
Whether people like it or not, she will be there at the end of time.
Oh, she's...
And you know what else will be there?
Cockroaches, Twinkies, J-Lo.
And Miss Thing. We will be there. We will be there at the end of time. Whether you like it or not, this podcast is never going to die.
Yeah. This podcast will last forever. Multiple lifetimes. Beyond this galaxy, even. When
Earth is destroyed and the aliens come, the first thing that they will discover is this pod.
Is missing.
And they'll say, damn, I wish I was alive during that time period.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yep. All right, listeners.
Thanks. Thanks for listening.
See you next week.
Bye. Miss Thing Podcast is created, executive produced, and hosted by Greg Trimmer and Tim Zientek.
It's produced and edited by Benji Simons, with cover art and additional creative support by Claude Zeins.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Miss Thing the Pod.
New episodes drop every Tuesday. Watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, but only raves. Strictly 5 stars and above.
Follow Greg at Greg Trimmer and Tim at Tim_Zientek on all social media.
Bonk.